I'm Brian Duffy from 19 News. Here are the latest headlines for Friday, February 13th, 2026.
First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now.
Because of 19 News being here?
Yes, sir.
It has to be. Literally right before we got on the air, they were telling us, like, they were just trying to start the process.
Bittersweet relief for a family nearly left without a place to stay. 19 News getting results today, just minutes after pressing apartment managers for answers. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Brian Duffy. Nicole Versansky is on assignment. People who were renting at the apartment complex were forced out for weeks after a fire. Time was running out at the hotel where they were staying. 19 News reporter Stephen Hernandez joins us with what happened, Stephen, once we got involved.
Well, Brian, for days, the Metcalf family was worried whether or not they'd have to live on the street, reaching out to the owners of Park House Apartments several times with no response. Well, that is until they reached out to us.
This season actually puts even a sour taste in my mouth.
Right. It makes
It does.
Feel
It
bitter.
puts a way worse
now
taste in
you
my
want
mouth.
to do something.
Eli Metcalf and his nieces Madison and Brianna are at a loss for words. After pressure from 19 News, they'll have a place to stay for now. This started with a January 31st fire that displaced tenants from Park House Apartments and raised safety concerns.
I sat there breathing in smoke for 45 minutes to an hour while I was asleep because nobody told us to get out and no smoke detectors went off.
In the 2 weeks since, they've been moved to hotels across the city as the apartment got repairs. But on Thursday, the family got an email from the property owner, Brick and Mortar Property Management, saying they would have to vacate their hotel rooms by next week. So at the beginning, United Way told you guys that the apartment management would take care of everything.
They insured the city, Red Cross, everybody that they are going to do this.
Any extension to their hotel stay, according to the email, would have to be paid from the rentees' pockets.
We paid the whole month of February. We paid on the 1st.
So 19 News got to work.
Hello, you have reached the property manager.
Calling every number we could find. A property manager told us they were working on a solution, and just minutes later, apartment management texted Brianna a message. Anyone with renter's insurance can reach out to arrange a hotel stay extension.
They're doing the same stuff they've been doing, covering their tracks.
The Metcalfs are glad they have shelter, but they say the problems are far from over.
Not until they fix what's going on here, makes things right. Nothing has been made right just by an extra stay at a hotel.
Very strong demands from the family there. We also reached out to Brick and Mortar Property Managers to see what's being done so that something like this doesn't happen again. We haven't received a response, but for now the Metcalfs are simply waiting. They won't be at peace until they're finally back home. Live in Menor, Stephen Hernandez, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
19 First Alert meteorologist John Loftman here with what we can expect over the next day or two. And boy, what a great day for people to get outside and enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah, and there's a lot of work from homers that are not working from home.
Right.
Or they bolted out early. It's Friday, for Pete's sake, and it's a holiday weekend. And what about the slopes? Yeah, gonna be a nice day. So let's get out and hit, Boston Mills, Brandywine. A lot of snow thanks to that cold weather stretch we had with all the snow. Just a few passing clouds, upper 20s in the overnight. Valentine's Day, a sun clouds mix, and we are headed back to the 40s. That is good territory in the minds of many. Next week, we're staying milder than normal. We'll have highs in the 40s and 50s, if only in the 50s one day, maybe two. But right now, 39 downtown, 36 at Hopkins. Southwest breezes have been helping us out in the temperature department, and they're relatively light, which means that wind chills really aren't much of a problem. Mid and upper 30s across the entire region, and sunshine is just pouring down on everybody. You have wind chills that are no problem at all. It's 40 degrees at Sandusky right now. Along the lakeshore, when you get a southwest wind, temperatures tend to be a little bit milder. Nearest snow up here in northern Michigan and across Lake Huron. Nothing doing in our part of the world. And as we make our way through the next 12 hours, we slide down only into the lower 30s to the upper 20s. What's ahead for the rest of the weekend and beyond, hour by hour? I'll take you through it in a First Alert Future View.
All right, John, thank you. Well, yet another Rocky River High School employee in trouble with the law. This time it involves social media messages sent to a minor. Dan DeRose is here with the very latest of what exactly happened this time at Rocky River.
Yeah, remember, this is the same high school where the school resource officer was charged with using police computers to look up students and staff and information on their family. That case. And now we've got Michael Sandy. This investigation actually started last Thursday when a student spoke up. Let's talk about what we know. These are just allegations and charges at this point. They make it very clear. They wanted to make it clear that this is a non-teaching staff member there. And the charges, 3 counts of attempted contributing to the delinquency or unruliness of a minor. This is messages that were sent to a Rocky River High School graduate who was a juvenile at the time. They were social media messages saying that he could provide that minor with drugs and/or alcohol. Again, just charges, innocent until proven guilty. He'll have his day in court. A statement from the Rocky River Police Department: we commend the students who had the courage to come forward and report concerning behavior. Their willingness to speak up played an important role in ensuring that the matter was promptly reviewed and addressed. We'll follow this case as it works through the legal system.
This is a 19 First Alert breaking traffic alert.
Taking you on a live look of a crash scene on 77 southbound that's causing backups all the way to 271. Let me take away this banner so you can see how slow of a go it is for that bunch up backup that's on 77 southbound, again, passing 271. But that crash isn't for miles away. So over in the Fairlawn area is closer to where that crash is, and it's blocking at least one lane on 77 South between Wheatley Road and Gents Road. But that's causing a 6-mile stretch of speeds that are as slow as just 7 to even 3 miles per hour. That is incredibly slow. Definitely heavy on the stop in terms of stop and go traffic. And again, that's going to be causing some major delays. About 30 minutes if you're going to be on that entire 6-mile stretch of 77, with those backups again starting all the way back by 271. But as for this crash that is over in the Rocky River area that was blocking the right lane around 90 eastbound and Worcester Road, most of that stop and go traffic has cleared away, but there is just a few left over, including a couple cars that are onto this far shoulder. And this is actually on the ramp, right in between the ramp that goes from the 90 eastbound existing lanes and then that on ramp. So I'll be keeping my eye on that and let you know when that clears.
Okay, Rachel. Well, the question of whether we'll see another partial government shutdown appears to be settled. It will begin at midnight tonight. Now the question is, how long will both sides go before they actually reach a compromise to fund the Department of Homeland Security? Erica Brown has the story now for us from Capitol Hill.
With another partial government shutdown looming, President Trump did not say whether the White House would soon reach a deal with Democrats to fund the Department of Homeland Security and end the standoff.
We'll see what happens. We always have to protect our law enforcement.
Democrats are demanding, quote, dramatic reforms to ICE before they agree to fund DHS, including requiring federal agents to get judicial warrants before entering private property and remove masks during operations.
Unless there are really strong, meaningful reforms to rein in ICE and stop the violence, there will not be Democratic votes to fund ICE and extend the awful status quo that now exists.
But the president continues to defend his immigration crackdown.
They've done a great job. Remember, they've taken out hundreds of thousands of criminals out of our country.
A partial shutdown would begin on Saturday, with Congress already out of town for more than a week, and both parties are trading blame for the impasse.
Democrats can build on the measures that Republicans have already agreed to if they actually engage in serious negotiations with the White House.
Their proposal is not serious, plain and simple. It's very far apart from what we need.
Once the shutdown begins, ICE and Border Patrol will continue to be funded with money from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, while other agencies under DHS, including FEMA and TSA, would work without pay. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Lawmakers say they have been told they will be given a 48-hour notice to return to D.C. to vote on a bill if a deal can be struck. It's day 13 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Police are asking people who live within 2 miles of her Tucson home to check their surveillance camera videos. After using specialized equipment to analyze the scene, the FBI now believes that the suspect is approximately 5'9" to 5 foot 10 inches tall with an average build. And giving us a better look at the type of backpack they say the suspect was carrying.
The height and the backpack are very good clues. And what the FBI will do is they'll start with the realm of the possible. How many of these backpacks were sold?
Investigators have also recovered several items of evidence that include some gloves. A banner now has been placed outside of KVOA television station where Nancy's daughter Savannah Guthrie once worked, echoing the words of her children, "Bring her home." Well, someone tries to break into your car or kind of tamper with your home, you want to report it, but the hassle of going to the police station stops you. A new change in Cleveland makes reporting easier and could help police finally track how often this crime actually happens. Noelle Williams shows us how it works.
Our doorbell cameras capture everything, even the bad, possibly someone trying to break into your home or someone trying to get into your car with the intention of stealing something inside.
Now, in the past, you had to physically report these crimes at a Cleveland police station, but now you can do it online. At the click of a button, there's a new option when filing a police report online in Cleveland for criminal trespassing. Cleveland Councilman Charles Slife has advocated the change for years.
My thought has been, one, we need to give people the ability to proactively advocate for themselves, but also, if we're not tracking this data, if we're not using it to kind of identify trends, then we're also holding ourselves back.
Slife says requiring people to physically go to one of 5 police stations was too much of a hassle for what's considered a misdemeanor. And if crime isn't reported, police can't fight it. He expects the number of reported criminal trespassing cases to spike, but that could be a good thing.
So we know where to put patrols, and we can give crime information to residents that they feel aligns with their lived reality.
Last year, 19 investigates looked up cases involving motor vehicle trespassing in 2024. In total, there were more than 2,000 incidents reported through the city of Cleveland. Life is hopeful this change could be a major advantage.
But I don't think that that's an increase to say that something now is happening at a scale it wasn't. It's acknowledging reality and allows us to address that reality more honestly and more strategically.
In downtown Cleveland, Noelle Williams, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast, certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, if you saw Jason last night, he said, by the end of the weekend, we might see almost all beach and the snow might be gone. It's on its way, and we have some open water on Lake Erie. All of that is good. I know, not good for lake effect, but still, the ice is starting to break up. We're into a week of warming temperature. Did I say warming? Yeah. 50s return on President's Day, if only for a day. We'll flirt with 50 on Tuesday, but a threat of rain on Wednesday, and for some, a threat of rain also on Sunday. I'll show you where here in a moment. Temperatures, mid and upper 30s. Yeah, I can live with that. Wind chills in the upper 20s to low 30s. That's pretty easy to live with, too. And as Duff pointed out, it's pretty much wall-to-wall, 100% pure grade A farm fresh sunshine everywhere. We slide into a night. There's just going to be a sliver of a crescent moon tonight, and we'll head down to about 29 degrees by the time we get to 7 o'clock in the morning. And these temperatures, look, we're at 36. Cincy is at 52. And if you head out west, 64 at Kansas. We are going to be right on the fringe of this warm air and see it manifest itself on at least Monday with highs in the low 50s. Tomorrow, though, we are headed to 45. Clouds and sun, and emphasis is going to be on the sunshine. It's going to be warmer, not only warm hearts, but probably some warm flowers and some cooler candy. 8 in the morning, we're at freezing. We climb up to that 44, 43. Along about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll hit our high of 45, but that's well above average. Sunday morning, we are clear at 4 in the morning, but as we make our way through the day, yeah, slice of rain south of Mansfield. Some of it may edge a little bit further north than that, but we're going to have to deal with that. It's not going to last long. 5 o'clock, it's gone for the most part. We get to a dry Monday, Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, the rain shows up again. It's going to stick around for a while. We're going to have showers throughout the course mainly of the day, and then at night, we clear on out of here. Holiday forecast, though, carries us to 45. 49 on Sunday, 52 on President's Day. Gradual clearing, but again, that threat of rain in the southern tier on Sunday. And we're still mild on Tuesday with the sun clouds mix. A few showers show up. You just saw them on Wednesday. Thursday, some scattered showers around. Friday, it turns cooler. And then next weekend, we won't even talk about it. Temperatures a lot colder and even below normal.
Now your top 4 at 4. The deep freeze turned Lake Erie and the Vermilion River into solid ice. But as temperatures rise this weekend, people here face a dangerous threat. Ice jams could flood homes and businesses. So the city is using a rig to break up the ice and hopefully prevent a very dangerous situation. The Vermilion Fire Department wants to remind people to sign up for free alerts to keep you and your family safe. 2 people died in an Ashland County crash on US 30 and State Route 511. Troopers tell us a Dodge Dart did not stop at a stop sign. A semi smashed into it, left the road, went across the median, and then smashed into a transit van. The Dart's driver, Malachi Whitehead, died, as did the driver of the van, David Coons, both from Worcester. A passenger suffered serious injuries. The semi-driver from Florida is being treated at a local hospital. Police arrested a Rocky River High School staff member. Michael Sandy, that's him there, is accused of offering to get an underage child drugs and alcohol. Police say he contacted the Rocky River graduate over social media. They arrested the 56-year-old, who is not a teacher but is on staff there. Police are hoping if anyone else was involved with Sandy, who was given this type of offer or something similar, you're asked to call the Rocky River Police. Cleveland police have arrested a man after a shooting on the city's east side. This was overnight. Happened on Buckeye in the Buckeye Shaker neighborhood. Police say a 21-year-old man pointed a gun at a 19-year-old. That 19-year-old somehow pushed the gun away. Even though a shot was fired, it hit the 19-year-old in the leg. The victim was taken to University Hospitals, we're told is going to be okay. Police say the gun was stolen from a home in Strongsville. Well, the measles outbreak has hit at least 3 more states since just last week. One of the newest cases is a baby in New York City who had recently traveled internationally. A CBS News analysis finds the baby is now one of more than 1,000 cases spread across 24 states so far this year. About 90% of cases are linked to an outbreak in South Carolina and in South Florida, where a new outbreak at Ave Maria University is up to nearly 60 cases just this week. A sophomore says he and a friend were one of the first to show symptoms, but the urgent care at the hospital, they didn't test for measles, and they went several days before it was caught.
They brought the healthcare department, nurses here. They brought like 2 ambulances. So like I know that when we got it, it was kind of like up in the air with what we should do. But after that, once they figured it out, it was a lot more like easy to get diagnosed, get the help you need.
CDC says the MMR vaccine is safe and it is effective. In Florida, fewer than 90% of kindergartners are fully vaccinated. And here's something frightening. That is not enough to create herd immunity. Breaking at this hour in Virginia, the au pair at the center of an elaborate double murder plot was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Juliana Perez Magalhães pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter in 2024. Plea was part of a deal for her to testify against Brendan Banfield. Now he's the former IRS agent convicted of killing his wife and another man. Prosecutors said the two began a romantic affair when she was the family's au pair, then hatched a plot to kill his wife. Also breaking, Wendy's is closing several hundred U.S. restaurants this year. Wendy's said it already closed 28 restaurants in the fourth quarter of last year and ended 2025 with just under 6,000 U.S. locations. It expects to close between 5 and 6% of its U.S. restaurants, or 298 to 358 locations in the first half of this year. Wendy's has not yet released a list of restaurants set to close. Fighting crimes against our pets could help people at risk of violence as well. Now, we recently told you about a new animal crimes unit hard at work in Cuyahoga County. Now, investigator Sarah Goldenberg looks at how often animal abuse goes hand in hand with dangerous crimes against people and shows you how to track violent crime against animals in our area.
Cats shot at with BB guns, dogs tied to a pole in the yard for days. Dozens of cases of animal cruelty and neglect continue to pour in.
It surprised me that there's as much of this going on as there is, and it surprised me just the depraved type of mind that it would take to harm an animal like that.
That's investigator Todd Stample, a retired Cleveland Police Department detective. He leads the newly established Animal Crimes Unit in the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office, along with Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Isadora Almaro, announced 2 weeks ago.
You just follow the evidence wherever it leads.
The prosecutor's office recently tracked a big jump in the number of people charged with animal cruelty in Cuyahoga County, from 40 cases in 2024 to 71 cases in 2025. And they found animal cruelty doesn't always end there.
We'll have one type of crime, maybe a felonious assault or domestic violence. And in that crime, they're also hurting an animal. And oftentimes animals are also used as a tool to hurt people, like a loved one, like someone's dog, a girlfriend or a boyfriend's dog, and the offender may hurt that animal to set an example for that person.
A landmark study from the Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals and Northeastern University back in 1997 found animal abusers are 5 times more likely to commit violent crimes against humans.
It is an absolute precursor to future violence, and we've seen it here a lot.
And the FBI later found abusers don't always go after animals before turning to people. Sometimes offenders hurt humans first, then animals.
When you have a neglected animal in a home, more often not than when there's children in the home, they very well may be neglected as well.
And when those offenders are caught for animal abuse, they wind up here on the Cuyahoga County Animal Abuse Registry, now in effect for almost 10 years. More than 70 offenders are listed. Like this Euclid couple who pleaded guilty to a felony for neglecting their dog, Duke. His condition so bad he had to be put down. A judge sentenced them to 1.5 years of community control in June 2025.
You can look up offenders on the registry yourself, and people and organizations offering pets for adoption, they can check on it too. Now, it lists offenders convicted of felony animal abuse with mugshots or on a map, and it's run by the Sheriff's Department. They're banned from adopting animals in Cuyahoga County.
Meanwhile, the new Animal Crimes Unit keeps on tackling the new cases coming in.
We try to bridge the gap. We want animal control and the police to work together because this is very serious.
Sarah Goldenberg, 19 News.
Cuyahoga County Crime Stoppers offers rewards for information in some of these animal abuse cases like this one. A cat was brought to an animal hospital. This was last October. Sadly, it was so badly abused it had to be put down. You can call Crime Stoppers with any information at 216-252-7463 and remain anonymous. You can report any animal crimes to your local police department or animal control, and you can check out the Cuyahoga County Animal Abuse Registry yourself. We posted a link on our Cleveland 19 app and Cleveland 19 Plus. I'm Brian Duffy. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe for the latest headlines every weekday, and be sure to stream the latest newscasts on our 19 News Plus app.